Hello. Um, I'm making a video. It's kind of weird. I don't really ever recall doing this. Uh, but whatever. I regularly hold conversations to myself. Uh, so I guess I'll just kind of take that mentality. Want to start this video? Hopefully, the glare behind me from the sun isn't too bright and screwing the quality of this up. This is on my phone. I don't have anything fancy. I think it's all right. It looks all right to me. I don't have a curtain back there. Um, and hopefully my phone doesn't say, okay, that's as much as we can record right now because of storage issues. And I get a half hour into this or whatever. And I just talked for half the time for nothing. But I post it anyway. So if this abruptly stops in the middle of nowhere, I'll see what I can do to edit that or fix stuff up. This is all new to me, and I'll just take it as it goes, right? So this is a seed. Specifically, this is a yellow squash seed, those crookneck squashes that they're so awesome when you grow them and the plants get all big and bushy and you harvest some of them. It's awesome. And they're good for about, after the fourth or fifth squash, you're all squashed out. Those squashes. You can't even give them away at that point. Anybody who's grown summer squash like that, zucchinis, yellow squash, patty pans, all that, that they, once they get going, you'll be picking squash out, a dozen squashes a day. And if you let them go one day, they become these big old baseball bats. Anyway, what do you do with a seed? You plant it in good soil. You don't want to plant it in hard, compacted clay or really sandy soil that can't hold any moisture or nutrients. You want to plant this seed in good soil. What do you do then? You give it a little water. You give it a little heat. You come back a couple days and that plant or the seed has germinated, it has sprouted, it's broke the surface, and you see the two little cotyledon leaves. And I'm on my way. Nature held her promise, right? Well, the plant grows. It starts showing true leaves. At that point, the plant needs some help. It needs good nutrients. The seed itself has enough energy and nutrients inside to supply the plant with what it needs for a bit. After that, it needs nutrients and it needs water. You need to water it. The ground needs to be able to hold moisture and nutrients. Therefore, that's why you want to put it in good soil. If you have to start adding nutrients, your foundation in the beginning isn't sufficient. It's not where it should be. After a bit, couple months, weeks go by, you have to prune this plant. Be it a tomato plant, cucumbers, these squashes. Sometimes you got to trim off those lower branches and leaves because they no longer serve any purpose. They are taking energy away from the plant just to sustain themselves. So you do some pruning. You keep the leaves off the grounds. It reduces splashing from water, which reduces the soil splashing against the leaves, which can introduce diseases, fungal diseases, viruses, bacteria, bugs. which we know if you've ever gardened can really decimate your garden. Any of those factors get involved. Months go by again, the plant sets fruit, you keep taking care of it and providing it the environment that it needs to thrive. And then one day in the fall, depending what you're growing, or early summer or early spring, you harvest and you enjoy the fruits of your labor. What you see on either side of me are these pumpkins that I sculpt. These are all handcrafted. There's really no shortcut I take to produce these. I don't make molds with them. I've thought about making molds so I can replicate things. But one, making a mold, a good quality mold for these things, I mean, these are huge. I wanted to do a video so people could see just how monstrous these things are. I don't take any shortcuts. I try to make things easier for myself, but I'm not taking all these shortcuts. The point I'm trying to make with the whole seed analogy is what you want to do with life, where you want your life to go, starts with a worthy idea. Earl Nightingale said that success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal or ideal. And that is the underlying moral or parable of growing a plant. You plant the seed, you plant the idea, the thought, and you nurture and water and feed and give sunlight to that thought, that idea, the goal that you are trying to obtain. So there is a progressive realization until you get to where it is that you were trying to get to. I wanted to make this big old yellow pumpkin. I mean, that's my head. There's no video camera tricks. That's the size of my head compared to this thing. And I couldn't tell you how much that thing weighs. And then there's this guy. This guy is significantly beefier. Beefy. This guy has to weigh. He's probably at least 30 pounds. It's not quite the weight of a sack of concrete, but it's pretty close. My idea with this, and I don't have any script. I don't really know where this is going. I'm just going. AI isn't art. And that probably already ruffled a lot of feathers, but it's not. AI might be a good tool to give you maybe an idea of where you want to go in the form of a sketch or, a rough draft of something, but printing out pictures and paintings, writing music with AI isn't art because it lacks the progressive realization of the idea. There's an AI website I checked out last year. I can't remember the name of it. It was a free AI generator, and I think the background on it was like black and purple, if that helps anybody identify which website it was. And I'm like, okay, well, let me check this out. And I typed in, I don't know, pumpkin with one eye or something. Nothing like this. And it generated the image within seconds. And then those images can, you download them and you can pass them off as your own work. And you didn't do jack shit to do it. You typed in what you wanted to generate, and there it is. Same with music. I play guitar. I've been in bands. Um, it's a painstaking process sometimes to get to the final product that you want. I'm not drinking beer either. That's seltzer water. I don't drink anymore. But it's a painstaking process. When you're practicing for an hour, maybe the same riff or same passage in a piece of music, and I might go to the bassist, hey, maybe do this, or you missed this, or the drummer, hey, maybe add a tom fill there. It's a little too plain, or I got to come down off my cloud a little bit sometimes and go, okay, I screwed that up. I was going for this specific chord shape, and I augmented the fourth when I shouldn't have, or something like that. And you repeat it again, and you keep working, and you put the effort in to make that goal a realization. And this is what AI lacks. I've seen it on social media. I've barely been back on Facebook. I just got on Instagram. I never did that. I told myself I never would. But there I am on Instagram, right? I guess I got to kind of keep up with the times. I've seen it already. Art being generated with AI, music being passed off as somebody's creation when they didn't put the blood, sweat, and tears into it. It's instantaneous, which kind of leads into a whole nother lecture in itself. Is we've lost the humanity in almost everything. Our food, clothing, everything. It's all about mass producing. It doesn't matter how they get there. It's the ultimate goal is to make money, right? That's what makes the world go around. Unfortunately, that's what it is. You think these big businesses, these big corporations, do you think they really give a shit about the customer? No. They want your money. They will cut every corner. They will do everything they can to get your freaking money. So I guess what I'm saying is my mission, being the creative person I am, people who have known me for years know that I have always been a very creative person. But unfortunately, through life circumstances, because things happen, right? Got caught up in the go get a job. You need this career. You got to do this. You got to get up every day, do this, rinse and repeat. And one day you'll make it to the top, right? And here recently, over the last few months, I turned 40 back in September. I haven't drank one drop of alcohol. It'll be 2 years on March 14th. So what is that? I don't know. I don't even really keep track of the time much anymore because psychological reasons, personal psychological reasons with it. I just realized that, hey, without that fog of alcohol and being able to see things in a, through my eyes, like Darth Vader, at the end of Return of the Jedi, I want to look at you, Luke, with my own eyes. Help me take off the mask. Everything I've been taught to believe, told to believe, forced to believe, whatever, it's all bullshit. And it's bullshit because it's not me. It may work for other people, and that's fine. If that's you, that's fine. Me personally, I I believe in personal evolution. I believe that we are divine beings with a lot more power than we're given credit for or even allowed to really think about, because the humanity is taken out of everything. You don't need to grow your own food. Why garden? It's a lot of work. It's a waste of time. Make money and then you can go to the grocery store where you can buy food that's crap for you anyway. Half the stuff at the grocery store, it's not even real food. And I could go off on a whole nother tangent with that, but I'll keep it more concise to, the point I guess I'm trying to make. Everything is being stripped of its humanity. And the mission for me with art is to create stuff that still has humanity to it. It possesses the seed, the thought. And I grew it to a fruit. These took time. These were not overnight sensations by any means. These took weeks. Because working full time, it's hard to come home sometimes and have that creative energy flowing to pull these off. I could probably complete one of these in 4 to 6 weeks. This one I worked on for months. That one I don't even remember. But that's my mission, is to bring that creative element, that humanity back into art. Because I believe if we're going to beat the system, and I won't get too far into what I think the system is, you probably think I'm crazy within the first 5 minutes, how a lot of what I say is not even welcome within, my own respective circle of, family and friends. You think I'm batshit crazy. No, the government wouldn't really do that, Rick. Okay, whatever. All right, whatever. Just wait until you're going to have a freaking subscription to a gas station just so you can get gas. I didn't hear that anywhere. I'm just speculating. It wouldn't surprise me, right? You will own nothing and be happy. That was straight off the WEF, and there's people, they didn't mean this. Look at all the subscriptions. Look at all the shit you got to do just, to watch a freaking movie nowadays. If you want to go along in the direction that humanity's taking us, I think we need to put the brakes on and get back to being humans and not just these mindless cogs in the machine, these robots that our whole society now just it runs on propping up the ego. Look at my big house. Look at my car. If that's what you want, go for it. But I think when you don't express the inner artist in you, which everybody has it, and you don't put the time and work in everything, it just, again, it loses the humanity of it all. It's gone. And I think as a civilization, we're headed, can't even talk, I need some water. We're heading in a direction I don't think we're really ready to experience. And maybe that is the fate of mankind. But I believe, back in, March, I went on a journey. And I was talking to somebody on the phone, and the mushrooms were telling me at this trajectory, humans are going to evolve themselves out of existence. Maybe that's what we want collectively. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But I think the merging of AI and more advanced machinery and technology, we're not too far away from having this relationship between man and machine and technology, robots. They're already here. The AI robots are already here. Um, be like cyborgs or who knows what. Part bionic, part organic. We'll call him Psychotron. Only a few people would probably get that musical reference. I just think we're headed in a really dangerous spot, or to a really dangerous spot. And I think art is the way to save it, because true art is something that creates true community, not these, posting ribbons and causes on social media. I support this and I support that. And yeah, everybody disagrees and they start fighting each other over it. It's like, when you look at a piece of art, everybody's going to have their own take on it. And I think that's how we beat the system. Create art. The great Terence McKenna once said, now I'll upgrade the number for current times, because this was a quote from him, mid 90s or something. What civilization is 8 billion people trying to make themselves happy by standing on each other's shoulders and kicking each other's teeth in. The consumer-driven, manic, more, instant gratification, instant satisfaction, it's not working. And people are crashing out. I'm crashing out. I'm done with the life that I was told to live. And I believe I can make some wonderful pieces of art. I have plans for making a bunch of little mushroom Christmas ornaments or whatever. Hell, you could hang them from your rearview mirror or something. These are fairly big, these two. Yeah, it looks like I have boobies now. I was going to make snowmen for Christmas. I got a lot of different ideas and kind of move with the seasons and the holidays and give people something that is from the heart. It's got soul to it. And it's truly unique only to them. This doesn't exist anywhere in the world. This is the only one. Same with this guy. Same with everything else I make. There's only one in the world. Instead of, getting in that frenzy, what was it, the Stanley Cup stuff? I didn't even know what a Stanley Cup was. I thought people were getting all crazy about hockey. I'm like, I don't even think it's hockey season. It wasn't even hockey season. No jab at hockey there, but everybody was all Stanley Cup. No, it's a freaking, a steel thermos or cup or whatever. And that craze, and people were buying them up, reselling them, and people were buying these things for thousands of dollars for a freaking cup, for a stainless steel cup. I don't even know if it's insulated. I don't know. It's a cup. It's a mass-produced piece of crap is what it is. And I'm looking at this guy here thinking, what should I sell this guy for if I ever did? I think $1,000 is a fair asking price. And I'm like, no, people aren't going to want to pay that, And then I stank $5,000+ for Stanley Cups for a thermos or what. I guess it's not that far out of the realm of possibility. So to kind of recap everything, go out and create. Make things truly from the heart. Put the time into it. Put the effort. And create something that humanity can enjoy for a long time to come. Otherwise, we're we're headed towards Skynet, and that's kind of a grim outlook there. Maybe a little cynical or nihilistic or doom or whatever. But I think art unites. I think art creates community because I truly believe that God is in everything. God is a creative force, and that creative force is within everything. I think it's our human birthright to be creators. That's why we have kids, right? To create new humans, to keep things going. It's nature. Everything's all interconnected, and I think we need to get back to being humans and not just robots. And it's as simple as walking away from all that crap. No, I'm not gonna subscribe to this Netflix account. No, I'm not gonna do this. No, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna go take it on and figure it out myself. And maybe I'll be successful, maybe I won't. But I took the jump, and that's what's important. I can't realize the idea and make it happen if I don't believe in it and put the work into it. So that's that. Sorry if I was a little nervous. I've never done a video like this. Feel like I'm talking to myself, but like I said, it's not unnatural for me to do that. It's just I feel like I'm talking to a million people, but I'm staring at my phone screen with me in the middle of 2 pumpkins I made. With that, everybody have a good day. Go out there, and your dreams are definitely achievable. You just got to take the jump. So, hope everyone has a good one. I'm going to stand up and shut this camera off.